pick. We're going to head into pick and ban here for the next game, and I'm curious what this looks like. And already the bans are changing here because Samira has been respect banned off of the board. And Top Esports are like, well, if we can't play Samira, you definitely can't play Aphelios.
Yeah, and the Syndra is respect ban as well. They think they've realized, you know what? We don't want to deal with this. This was way too good. Syndra specifically. I'd be curious now to see, though, if we start to see the high priority on Zoe come in now for Top Esports. That has been the go-to for Knight when this Syndra is taken off the board. And we saw it a hell of a lot last year, Zoe was the second most played champion for him, and we're going to see it again this year, I imagine, as he's already one of his higher played champions as well.
So I think this hover is a little tip of the hat towards JackeyLove from Colt here, because the Draven is a JackeyLove special. I've got a feeling that they're just going to lock in Karsa after hovering this for hours. And then over on the other side, we're going to see JackeyLove playing Xayah. I think that is the way that this inevitably will go now, as that does seem to be the way that the meta has developed down on that bottom side of the map. Wouldn't be surprised to see. I mean, sorry, Dagda, I'm taking your job. Give me a prediction.
I know, it's all good. It's all good. You got the Xayah. I mean, you were doing such a good job. I didn't want to interrupt you. You know, you've basically just nailed everything so far.
I've been
I know, it shows. It shows. However, look, whoa, okay, I wasn't expecting the quick lock-in of the Gragas. Now, again, we talked about, hey, you know, Gragas coming into this is a flex because we just saw Karsa play jungle. However, can be played support, can be played for 369 the top lane. And it does dissuade picks like the Renekton on the opposite side coming in for Coulter, these easy blind pickable champions. And when we talked about already how volatile this top lane matchup is going to be and how both 369 and Colt really want that counter pick, it's nice to have that option there on the side of Top Esports to flex your muscles a bit.
So we do see the Leona from Chance as well. Leona is one of the supports that has been exceptionally high priority. Although I feel like we have the luxury here in the LPL of being on 7 days a week. So we see the meta shift like every single day. We get to see the differences. And like yesterday, we didn't really see as much Leona. We didn't see it last game at all. So we are seeing things change up slightly. But it is going to be Alistar Leona back to that bot lane matchup that we've seen quite a few times at this point. And now we have AP junglers locked in on both sides as well. We have both solo laners remaining. And we talked about earlier, the top side is where these counter picks often go for these players.
Exactly, and I expect that we're going to see probably a little bit more attention from Top Esports towards the top side of the map. You can start to get these more favorable matchups, as we talked about. You can just put Gragas there for 369 if you really want. We've seen it quite a lot in both Europe, in North America. Ornn taken off the board means that potentially we're actually looking at Renekton top, maybe, but I'm curious to see if that's what they decide to go with and then flex that Gragas towards jungle or towards that bot side.
So Top Esports looking to ban out top laners by the looks of things, whereas LGD, with the Lucian ban, it could theoretically be either lane, so maybe just banning out blind pickable champions right here that can continue to match the flex theme that we've got with this Gragas.
Okay,
that's a Renekton ban right there.
Okay, yeah. Cool. So we know at least then that Karsa is more than is going to be taking this Gragas in towards the jungle. It does mean when we look at that bottom side of the map for the Xayah Alistar that chances are...
Hang on. I was going to say that could have been like hey, you need to ban Renekton so we can pick Gnar. But I guess you can pick Gnar anyway, even if Renekton's available.
Yeah, true. Either way, we know it's going to be a favorable matchup for 369. Super strong to get that top lane pick for themselves. I'm not sure really what you can go here for the counter pick. I mean, we've seen maybe Jace come in as the main answer, and Colt has played that before.
Yasuo was the classic Gnar answer. I'm just going to throw it out there that is a thing that existed at one point in League of Legends.
It looks like what they're going to do is just go towards the Camille. So Camille basically does the same. You can close that gap, make it a little bit difficult for an Gnar to get away. But certainly now that you've got this pairing of, hey, we've got the Camille plus the Galio, you're playing very heavily towards that top side, locked him down with the Hextech ultimatum, get the Galio to follow up with the heroic entrance, and just put 369 in the dirt. So this is definitely LGD looking to utilize that at the level 6 point in time. But we'll have to see if they can get towards that stage, because honestly, when I look at Koi on this Lilia, not going to have as big of an impact, especially against something like a Gragas. So Karsa has his pick of the litter essentially here as to what lane he would like to play around and try to get some early advantages, maybe 4-3-6-9, so he's set up nice and easy when we get to that level 6 point.
And I feel like the composition that LGD have managed to grab for themselves is actually a very high value composition when you think about what's been strong over the last few weeks. When you think about week 1 and the start of week 2, the Camille was like first pick, first bat. The fact that went all the way to the end of the draft with a bunch of top lane bans in play as well shows how quickly the meta develops here in the LPL.
And it's also interesting to see like new things pop up, like the Rise. The Rise here coming in for Knight, which we basically hadn't seen at all in preseason, but now it's started to rise up a little bit in competitive, and it tends to slot into this kind of 1-3-1 style where you send it off in the side lane. And especially when you're looking at the likes of the Camille and the Galio on the opposite side, I like that you've opted in towards an answer for both those side lanes in both the Gnar and the Rise here. It does mean though, as this game starts to go on a little bit later though, I still give the advantage over towards this top, or the LGD side, because you've got just easier ways of joining in from the split push, like with the Galio ult. It's got a little bit more range than say the likes of the Rise Realm Warp, and as well Camille will win out both against the Rise and the Gnar come the late stages in that split push. So certainly LGD have got a nice little setup for themselves, can still team fight very effectively as well if you're going for a more tank oriented build with the Camille and that Divine Sunder. So I like what LGD have here and the answers that they propose to top esports.
See if the answers are going to be good enough, because this is a Galio in the mid lane, which I will say have seen less of. A lot of the Galios this year have been down in that support role instead of the mid lane. So Uniboy, you know, this is one of the picks that you expect Uniboy to play well on. When we think back to his Worlds performance, stuff like the set as well were also champions that he really, really thrived on. So this is very much within his wheelhouse. And you can kind of set up Quay to be more of the carry around the midsection of the map, as Chance is going to face check on in here. They want to get some vision for themselves. Him and Kramer stepping forwards, and we'll just ward over towards the blue buff and back away.
I want to go back to your Uniboy point though, because definitely this is a champion that is 100% in his wheelhouse. He's played a lot of the set, the Galio as well. We even saw come out at Worlds, but the big thing here is actually running the Predator in this mid lane as well. It means that he's very much looking to have an influence in the early game on these side lanes, try and run people down with the Predator and that taunt, and maybe set up for Koi in these early aggressive mid lane plays. However, Knight is on this Rise, and Rise does very well against Galio in his ability to shove the wave. We saw it against the Twisted Fate the other day, where you just don't get the opportunity to roam because your wave's cleared out before you even get a chance.
What is happening? They're just chasing each other up and down the lane. This is a low health top lane right here, and that means it's a volatile top lane. We could have a kill coming through. Both junglers are pathing in that direction. Well, he's moving to the mid lane though, actually. Yeah.
This is something that Koi has done before, where he, on these pushing matchups, he'll move across the opponent's side and try to commit on towards these Raptors, but he's actually too late. Karsa's already started these up, but it means they get to play
Knight here. Koi comes in and gets the slam as well. Huge damage on Knight. Just has to back away, and now Karsa is alone on the chickens. He's not going to be able to do much here. Has the smite available. Does not have a ward in, and it means Quay can grab this chicken for himself and back away. Nicely done by the 2v2.
And this is actually something that they did against EDG as well, which is why I was talking about these really cool, unique pathings that Koi does in the early stages to get these leads. If he's got a pushing mid laner, like you've got in the Galio here in the mid lane, he'll just run through mid, help you push in those last few creeps. You're not really losing it much as the mid laner, and get on towards the Raptors and set the enemy jungler behind.
Oh, Knight flashing forwards, gets the root, looks for the damage, doesn't quite have enough. One more Q would do the trick, but an E is going to have to suffice. Knight with the solo kill in the mid lane.
Beautifully done from Knight, just realizing exactly how much damage he can, and Uniboy overstepping, not realizing how much damage could be turned around there by Knight. And now again, we said, hey, look, as you start to get towards this tier, you start to build up a bunch of this mana as Knight, it becomes very easy for you to control this mid lane matchup. You've just given a bunch of gold in towards Knight's favor, which makes it even more difficult now for Uniboy to have this ultimate impact when he hits that level 6.
Uniboy with the question mark emote as he knows he messed up. He's got his boots now as well as that Dark Seal, so we'll be able to use the Predator to try and influence the map. Karsa is going to go for this bottom scuttle. It's going to be Quay on the top side. Let's bear in mind, 369 is low on HP. Colt has plenty of ways to force that fight if Quay wants to try and make a gank happen. And it looks like that is going to be the call here as he charges straight in. Flash for the stun from Colt. And I think 369 realizes there's no way out of this one. He's not even going to try and flash. Dark Harvest acquired and a kill with the leg sweep from Colt.
And I like that they gift that over towards Colt. I was kind of saying, Colt, back off, back off. You want this Camille up and running because she's going to be the main source of that split push pressure. Now that you're starting to get this this Camille rolling, she can go towards the Triforce if she wants to go for that full split push orientation, which I actually wouldn't mind in this situation. But we have seen when paired with a Galio, they go Divine Thunder and Sterix.
Here we go. They want to answer on the bot side, though. Top Esports diving, and goodbye, Kramer. Welcome back to the LPL, mate. I hope you enjoy your stay. Chance is going to just about survive for now, but Karsa, I don't think is going to allow that to happen any longer. Oh, JackeyLove has to flash away for the tower shot, but you know what? We take those.
Are you getting a bit of deja vu, Munch? I'm feeling a little bit of deja vu. I mean, 2 early kills going over towards JackeyLove. Starting to get a little bit worried.
Karsa on the signature Gragas as well. It's feeling very similar once again. Beautiful dive, though, from Top Esports. This is the kind of coordination that we were missing in the first 2 weeks.
And it's also interesting to see that now with Zhuo in this bottom lane as well versus Yuanjia, that it's more the aggressive plays that are coming in this bottom side rather than the, okay, we're trying to shore up our weakness in this bottom side. It's an advantage that we're actually trying to snowball out of control. And I think that's the big thing for Top Esports now is that they, with Zhuo coming in and being that more aggressive support, being that engaged tool, they've got a bottom lane now that has a strong laning phase, transitions into a strong team fight, and just makes Top Esports as a whole much more powerful.
It's feeling pretty great for Top Esports, I'm not going to lie. I will say, let's just temper ourselves a little bit here. This is against LGD, who have not been looking fantastic this season so far, and they do have this kind of rookie squad. As the TP comes on in, and the rookie squad might just get taken out here. Zhuo is pretty much invincible already, because he is that Alistair. And nice easy kill. Bear in mind as well, that wave is pushing out. This could even get frozen against Kramer. That would be brutal.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they do. You still have another minute until this Rift Tower comes up, so freeze the wave, then get control where you get the slow push out, transition over towards that Rift Herald.
Karsa's like, okay, which one lane isn't winning yet? I'll go gank for it. Colt's going to go down here to the wall. Oh no, one more auto. 369 survives. Jumps on top of Uniboy, who's trying to escape. 1 HP remaining. And Karsa chucks out the barrel. Nice little sidestep. Uniboy gets away with it.
And I'm glad at least that LGD were able to turn that back around, because that was very close to being just Top Esports answering across the map, which is disastrous if you're on LGD's side. But however, no, they're not going to go. So I like the way Top Esports found that very brief window of opportunity, though, to make that play on the bottom side. This was that early play where Knight got the kill, got a little bit more CS, coming back to bite LGD. Actually, top one, eh?
Karsa's Predator it around, and Uniboy's found him. You don't get to just recall that greedy. Uniboy charges up to the top side of the map, gets himself a bit of revenge, and now 369 wants to chase him, but it's not happening. Uniboy, that was very cheeky.
Very well played, and this is what I wanted to see from Uniboy. I want that confidence to come back that we saw in the LMS. Like, when he was over there, like, they finished 4th in playoffs with AHQ. We saw how good he was when he subbed into onto PSG in Worlds. Like, this guy has so much to offer. However, bot lane.
JackeyLove has that Featherstone available, will use it immediately, has a route for Quay, but Zhuo goes down. It's support for support, which 2v3... Tez are going to be happy with that one because JackeyLove keeps his bounty.
Yeah, just about, but 4 kills for JackeyLove. This Zaya is going to be huge. She's going to be able to hit that 3 out of spikes on him quick, but top.
Dagda, it never ends here. It never ends. Colt will be able to get his hook shot, though. Jumps over the wall. I thought that was going to be interrupted by Karsa. I thought that was a guaranteed kill.
But these are kind of wins for LGD. in the cross map plays, because you are getting the shove and bot. You're at least buying a little bit more breathing space for Kramer. Get maybe some of these tower plates, although not quite able to pick one up for themselves there. And Colt is absorbing this pressure, but he's getting out. He's already been accelerated with the kills as well, so losing a bit of CS is not going to set him drastically behind. But the scary thing is, Top Esports realized they need to shove it.
Chance and Uniboy had the audacity to try and clear the minion wave there, and Top Esports were like, whoa, this is our mid lane. You don't get to clear minions, and immediately start the fight.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're just looking to try and get anything rolling here, but it's a battle across the board for lane advantages. So, as we were already saying, Greg is playing towards top. Top Esports realizing they need to shut down Colt, who's starting to get a bit out of control. They already have JackeyLove and bot, and Chance wants to shut him down.
Yeah, he does have to use the cleanse, has flash available, but Zhuo's coming in, and I think they might just fight this one instead. Root onto Kramer, 1 or 2 more autos would finish off the trick. He doesn't have any summoners available. He's knocked up, and Zhuo's just going to finish the kill himself. He doesn't need an AD carry. In fact, donates it with the Q. That is beautiful to see. Now Chance trying to escape, but Karsa's not going to let him. Explosive cast is Quay knocked back into the fray. Karsa gets the other one. They finish off everybody.
God damn, Karsa, take a bow. That was beautiful. Coming in over the wall. That was a blind cask to hit on towards Koi to send him into the lovingly waiting arms of Zhuo. And Top Esports are able to pick up everybody. But this is just the beauty of Karsa, the control that he exerts, his ability to track the enemy jungler, to set up and counteract these plays, and it nets the kills on bot side. 5 kills now for JackeyLove. Gale Force already completed. Let alone how quickly he's going to be able to pick up the likes of this Essence Reaver and Infinity Edge. JackeyLove is going to be massive, and JackeyLove can take over this game.
There is no is going to be. He is massive. JackeyLove is monstrous with his 5 kills. Just look how he plays this so confidently. Still has flash this entire time. Just knows he doesn't need it.
Yeah, knows that he's got the help coming. Knows that once he's got the cleanse, he can at least create enough distance that Kramer can't really get the damage that he wants. And from that point forward, well, it's Top Esports. But watch this. Karsa, this is blind. Just beautifully predicting where they're going to be. And you can even see the step back tries to come through from LGD. But Karsa's just got a 6th sense, man. He knows where you are.
I don't know if we're allowed to call them blind casks anymore, Dagda, or if that's against Twitch TOS these days.
True.
Bit of a controversial
I don't know what I'd call
joke.
them. Yeah.
Anyway, moving swiftly on before I get myself fired. LGD now going to be trying to grab themselves the Rift Herald. JackeyLove in the meantime is just going to trade it for plates. He's already got the Gale Force. Like the amount of damage that JackeyLove is going to be doing in these skirmishes is absolutely insane. There is no universe where that 2v2 can happen. And Karsa now can contest the Herald. Trying to find this. Oh, Cask used immediately. Quay going to be knocked against the wall. Will walk away with his life. The Herald resets, which is a little unfortunate for Top Esports.
It resets, but they got the victory. I mean, Koi's taken way too low. Colt has no mana. They're all just forced to back away. So they do get the objective while keeping JackeyLove and Zhuo on this bottom lane. Because, I mean, I just want to draw the parallel here. You're 30 CS behind is Kramer. You're 3 tower plates behind. And you're 4 kills behind. Like, this Karsa is going to get to Gale Force at the time that JackeyLove is probably 2.5 items.
Oh my god. I don't even have time to cast this. The speed at which Kramer is eviscerated. You said 3 tower plates. I think we're going to turn that into more. Because Quay, he wants to try and contest this. But Zhuo's tanky. Doesn't have his ult available. So the dive might be a little bit dicey if they try and go for anything there. JackeyLove will get tagged by a swirl seed, but he's not afraid of no slumber.
You can't do anything.
He's not afraid of no sleep.
You can't do anything. If you try and engage on that, it's cool. I still got Featherstorm. I'm still full health. I still have cleanse. I still have flash. It's just you sitting there and just JackeyLove taking your hands and going, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Why are you still in my lane? This is my domain.
Oh goodness, this is brutal. There's another tower plate for JackeyLove, as if he needed more gold at this point in the game. 4,500 gold lead, and we talked about JackeyLove's stats in game number 1, Dagda. We talked about the fact that the gold difference at 15 minutes is almost always 60% of that goes in the pocket of JackeyLove. Well, this game is no exception to the rule either, because you know that a massive portion of that gold... I mean, his bounty is like a quarter of the gold difference at this point.
Yeah, it's a little bit silly. But the big thing here is, as a lot, you got JackeyLove, who's always performing. The other top performer on this team is Knight. And while we've had all action top, all action bot, Knight has actually been quietly just picking up the CS lead. He's gotten 2 kills for himself. The Realm Warps have been getting a lot of gold and plays coming through for top esports. But also, he's picked up 4 turret plates in this mid lane because there's nothing Uniboy can do. Now, making a play on the bottom side.
Oh no, Kramer. Oh no. He does have both summoners available. Knight going to be slowed but not stunned here as the CC chain comes in from Chance. That was very nicely played. Onto Zhuo they go. He might just trade supports here. Explosive cascading goes Karsa under the tower. And Kramer, you don't have anyone to protect you anymore. JackeyLove slides in and grabs himself that kill. He even uses the Featherstorm to survive the turret shot. Now the answer on the top side is LGD try and dive onto 369. Going to put him to sleep. Can they finish him off? Stun underneath the tower. The answer is no. It's a 1-for-1. 369 is too damn good.
369 played that so well, but Koi was not the one supposed to take that much aggro. It should have been juggled a little bit better so then Koi isn't able to just get nard into the wall. And it's a disaster for LGD. They lose the play on top. You've lost your bot lane tower. There's a dragon in 30 seconds that top esports are going to get as well. And there is 7 kills on towards JackeyLove. Like, there is nothing. Like, look at the items. There's full mythics across the board on top esports. Whereas when you look at LGD, they're still struggling to complete one.
Just look, the tower plate difference alone is absurd at this stage in the game. 1,300 gold almost in favor of top esports. And let's just quickly go back to what we said right at the start of the day about how this LGD squad wants to play. They want to avoid the bot lane 2v2s. They want to play through Cult, through Quay, through Uniboy. They want to play on the top half of the map. But they don't get to. When top esports are putting this much pressure in the 2v2 and with Karsa going down to this bottom side so much, LGD never get a chance to play the way that they want.
And all that pressure is now on Cult. Like, Cult is the only shining light here. 2 kills, Triforce now completed, but it's so easy for top esports to make plays like this. However, nice job getting away, but Cult is now forced to overextend. He has to draw pressure topside to buy time for LGD, to give them some laps of, well, anything.
We do have an engage here. His Chance trying to back away. He's pretty tanky though, and actually has a stopwatch. JackeyLove has to Gale Force away from the players. Zhuo is the first casualty. On towards Karsa they go, and LGD have found themselves a turnaround. Gonna go for the sleep. On towards... Oh, it's gonna stop the Realm Warp. That is beautiful. The CC cancels Knight's ultimate, and now JackeyLove getting chased down. Colt wants a little bit of revenge, and he wants himself a 1k bounty.
And 3 kills over towards Cult. The triple kill, the 1k bounty. We just said the shining light, that glimmer of hope, so slight in that top lane for LGD is something like a beacon for Gondor as he's just picked up everything in that top lane. You can now back away as this Camille. You can get that Ravenous Hydra. You can get that Sterix Gauge, a Death's Dance. Like, the world's your oyster here. Now, because he's gone towards Triforce, he's got that Ravenous Hydra. I personally go towards Death's Dance, give you a little bit more survivability in the 1v1, which is clearly where Cult's head is at.
Zhuo trying to start a fight onto Uniboy here. Uniboy's feeling it a little bit. He's feeling like they're maybe back in the game with the emotes coming on out. And you know what? If the beacons are lit, Dagda, then Cult is the one to answer. Gondor shall not be alone this day. But what is Gondor full of? Knights. And Knight is scaling up pretty nicely himself as well. Has the Ludens already. Heading towards the Zhonya's as a second item. His tier nearly stacked. Let's bear in mind that Rise ain't going to get any weaker this game.
And I'm surprised to see top esports go in here, but I'm not surprised to see Zhuo starting off. Because Zhuo only has one mode, and it's go in, and it's been the biggest criticism we've had of him every single time in these series. He goes way too far forward. The rest of top esports aren't in a position. Like, JackeyLove has gotten, I think, maybe a Q and an auto attack off in this fight. When you've got so much of your gold invested on both the Rise and certainly this Karsa, you need them to be in a dominant position before you go for these engages. But Zhuo jumps the gun, ends up giving a lot of control back over towards LGD. Now, still 4,000 gold lead, still heavily in favor of top esports, but certainly having Camille now with the ability to play through this side lane is going to be amazing for LGD.
Yeah, we hilariously had the replay of what was going on at that blue portion of the jungle there. And then in the meantime, we had the live feed of what was going on in the exact same part of the jungle where Top Esports got a pick on Quay. It was kind of like here's what it looks like when it goes wrong for Top. Here's what it looks like when it goes right for Top. These are the two different ways that this play could go. And it does open up this Rift Herald for Top Esports now.
Yeah, and this is going to make it a lot more difficult again for Cult to play these side lanes, because you can pop this down in mid, get this last inner turret, makes it easier to start to draw your vision in towards the opponent's side, and then as Cult, you've got to really overextend if you want to put any sort of pressure on towards Top Esports, and this is where Cult is going to struggle. You've got to put yourself, if you're hoping to carry this game, into situations where you can get caught out, just because otherwise you're going to just sit underneath the tower, you're going to slowly bleed out in the rest of the map, and that's where you can see Quay and Cult here are pretty far forward, but they might get the pick.
Good stun onto Cult there, and buffered the Q as well. 369 basically didn't get CC'd there. With the way that he buffered his abilities, he might as well have not ever been asleep. Beautifully done from him. And in the meantime, he had some support from Zhuo and the rest of the gang to be able to protect him down on the bottom side of the map. And as to be said, with the amount of pressure that 369 has had on him this game, the fact that he's managed to find himself a CS lead is honestly so impressive.
Very much. I mean, it's just been the prowess of 369 for such a large portion of, I mean, the entire time he's been in LPL. He's just been such a good lane bully, and we talked about how much Knight and Karsa have tailored towards him, but we haven't been seeing that as much this game. It has been very bot focused for Top Esports, and I think that's one of the avenues that having Zhuo come into this roster does open up, is the ability to have these more engaged, aggressive support, get that bullying going, and then play down towards JackeyLove, rather than just relying on, hey, we got to play through 369 in this top lane, we need to get him ahead so when we hit these team fights, he can be our big engage tool and beefcake to set up our fights.
And while we've got a moment of reprieve here, because the Dragon's up, Top Esports have control of the area, I realistically don't think LGD can contest this one at all. So they're just going to try and pressure elsewhere on the map. While I have this second to talk, I want to mention the fact that Zhuo looks fantastic today. When the rest of the team from Top Esports can also be on these champions that can be aggressive 24/7, you can't be too aggressive. You can't be too aggressive when all you want to be is aggressive.
Just go too aggressive. That was kind of, you know.
There's no such thing as too aggressive when the scoreline looks like this. We're doing results-based analysis here on the LPL, Dagda. I don't care about what's happening on the screen. I care about the interpretation.
My emails for a little while. I didn't see the memo. My bad. I'm real sorry. But Top, they're still going aggressive. Look, they're starting Baron.
They're going straight towards Baron. Zhuo has looked pretty great today comparatively to what we've seen. Uniboy now wants to answer. Chance coming in from the side as well. 2,000. It's already gone. Smite comes out from Karsa, and now on top of that, as a cherry on the cake, they find themselves a pick onto Chance. Uniboy is totally alone, should be finished off fairly simply by JackeyLove here, as the rest of the squad does get collapsed on. Uniboy has survived in the meantime. Knock up onto Kramer, who's forced out of the fight, flashes away. JackeyLove trying to chase down this kill as Quay dashes out towards the top side of this one. Knight teleports in, but he's a little too late to the party. And now Top Esports can just run it up mid.
I mean, this game is over. They have Baron, you've got Dragon that's out their soul, but pick onto Quay just to insult injury.
I mean, there's not a lot that you could do about that one. The belly is too damn strong.
Yeah, I mean, look, what do you do? Baron for Top Esports, they're pushing in all your towers. You've got a outer turret that remains on the bot side of the map. Dragon, Soul for Top Esports is spawning in 3 minutes. Top Esports just shove in all your waves, keep you underneath your towers, and then they just skedaddle back over to pick up that Dragon as it spawns. There's just little that you can do here as LGD side, and the biggest issue here for this fight was just LGD were all over the place. They were already massively far behind, but when Quay isn't in a position to join in this fight, Kramer isn't getting anything done. You don't have that combo that we set up already between Colt and Uniboy to start off the fight. It's just Top Esports running around like kids in a sweet shop, picking up whatever the hell they want and putting it in their mouth before the shopkeeper catches them.
I swear, I don't have time to talk. I don't have time for anecdotes. 369, I mean, I guess I do, because there's nothing to commentate there. He's already gone. The rest of the squad's moving over, though. Top Esports, they don't want to let someone go down without that casualty being answered. These are brothers in arms, and they certainly won't let their comrades fall. Down towards this bottom side, They do have 3 caster minions to work with if they want to try and siege this tower. Realistically, the wave clear ain't exactly fantastic on the side of LGD, and when Karsa can threaten the dive like that, gives an opportunity for JackeyLove to start hammering away on this tower. Looks like this tier 2 might go down, and JackeyLove even happy to tank a couple of tower shots for the effort right here. Mid lane does go down to minions, which is the second tower now for LGD, but top Esports I don't think are letting up anytime soon. The siege continues here in the bottom side.
Yeah, Kramer's in top side. Like, they're going to lose their inhibitor tower. Like, what? What?
Farmer Kramer tending to his crop in the top lane
Screw
here.
the crops.
And I think that this is LGD. This is not like a Kramer mistake. This is LGD making the call that we cannot defend this inhibitor. Let's just try and get something elsewhere.
But it's their best.
Oh, they pulled the cannon. They pulled the cannon to the mid lane inhib. This is so 5-head from top Esports. You give them anything and they will take everything. They turn a single inhib push that LGD gave them into 2. Now a fight comes in, but Karsa is tanking everyone up pretty handily right here. Damage coming out from Knight as well as they answer this one. They don't quite get the mid inhib. But now Colt's stunned against the wall as 369 jumps away towards the rest of his squad. He's going to turn into Mininar, but Colt has to flash away from the play. The Feather Storm aggressively, but the Feathers don't quite pull back in time. It turns out he's not ticklish.
Life is pain, Munch. Watching this from LGD. Like, you have a guaranteed team fight as LGD. You Hextech Ultimatum in towards the Galio ult, and it's a 4 versus 5 without the tank.
No time to explain, because a triple knockup from Zhuo. Knocked into the knockup, the cast into Alistair. That is what I am talking about. That is what a team fight combo looks like right there, Dagda.
That's some synergy and a half between Karsa and Zhuo, but I'm still baffled by LGD. Like, you have a 4 versus 5 without 369, guaranteed engage, and you just let your base die. Now Colt's dying. Everyone's dying. It's dead.
Yeah,
over.
This is falling apart for LGD. And Colt in absolute shambles. He's 5-2 and 3. He had magnificent CS for most of the game, but there's just nothing you can do when the rest of the map has fallen apart around your ears like this. Top Esports are well and truly back in form. Is this the toughest opponent in the league? No. But do they look damn good when they're taking this win? You're damn right they do. Padding their stats a little bit as they grab a couple more kills on the Phantom 369 with another questionable ult, but that's okay as the Nexus will fall. And Top Esports take a well-earned victory lap on this one. JackeyLove with his 11th kill. And in fact, Kramer manages to dodge it as Top Esports take the 2-0.